point would go to TES first.
I mean, roughly, what's the percentage of the jobs that are there because of the late resignations?
It could be anything. So, for example, I lost a DT teacher, a technology teacher, a week before the resignation date. The resignation date's May the 31st, and she had an interview on May the 24th. And I'm going to struggle in a specialist area like that to get somebody so quickly. So at that point, I went to the TES, and that's the only advert I put on the TES this year. I would probably have gone to our website first, and I might even have looked at a couple of the agencies to find somebody. But then the agency cost is they give you somebody, and you pay them for the service of having the person in the building.
Got it. So that was, I mean, out of all your hiring that you have done in last year, this one job is it like 10% roughly, or sorry, I don't know how big your school is, so
yeah, okay. We've got I've got two schools. I've got one school with 23 teachers in, and they are creatures of habit. They always use eTeach, and they've got a deal with eTeach, and they've always used it, and it gets good solutions in that community. They never use anything but eTeach. The school I'm in, I've got 110 teachers, so it's a big school. We probably lose 10% of teaching staff every year and have to replace them. I probably have been to the TES once in 5 years now.
Okay, so this is very, very small portion, those teachers that resign very late. So that, I mean, it's, I don't know, less than 10%. In general, of the market. Okay.
I'm not the norm, and I've got lots of colleagues who run other schools who some of them will use the TES as a matter of course because they don't think they think their job's being head teacher, so that the best teacher in the academy rather than a principal or a chief executive of a business. So they would say, I need to concentrate on teaching and learning. That's my job. So in effect, all of the other they'll just put everything out to the TES and not worry about the cost of it. So I don't think the TES, because it's so good, is going to lose business or that much business. What I think it will do is just it'll diversify again, because 10 years ago when it went across from a newspaper to a website, it reinvented itself, it diversified, and I think they'll get really good at becoming headhunters and matched recruitment services.
Okay, I see. So we wouldn't see like a lot of people who are currently using TES just walking away saying that, look, I'm not going to pay anything, I'm just going to go with the TVS, even if TVS is there and is a reason. Again, I'm not talking about the situation when TVS is a complete failure. Then of course, I mean, there's nothing to talk about. Yeah. But I'm talking about a scenario in which TVS, this government website, ends up being a reasonably decent jobs board.
I think once it's established and people start talking to each other, I think you'll find that more of the day-to-day business will go to TVS at that point. So a couple of years down the line, when you've been to a head teachers meeting and they've recruited well and it's gone really well for them, they'll do that. But if you know the service, the market for teachers in this country, The Guardian tried to rival the TES about 5 years ago. Had a good go at it and just couldn't knock it off its perch, so that the Guardian have just carried on doing executive appointments with some high-end teaching jobs, but have got rid of their teaching arm, really.
Okay, so only senior appointments now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right, but then when I think about how you can use TES, right? So some people would use it exactly like you did, right? So you had one situation, it was a very unusual situation, and you were more willing to pay pay TES than take the risk of not having a teacher. And that's relatively small. That's like this ad hoc ads that they still have, and that they have obviously for the last 2 years they have been converting most of their customers from this ad hoc model into the subscription model. So of course for you it's going to be a simple choice, right? Because you are not paying them anything unless you have to, and then maybe with the TVS being there, then you just, instead of giving this business to TES, you would give it to the government website. Is that fair statement?
Absolutely spot on. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. But then there would be other people who have, one of your schools would have the subscription with eTeach, for example, right? So how about the situations that you have a subscription, you pay anyway, and then like what would be how serious would be the situation in which people with subscription